welcome to another episode of Skinterviews. I am your guy. My name is George Scandalis, and this is
Nathan Strom.
Hey, Nathan Strom. How are you?
How are you, George Scandalis?
I'm good. You know what I've noticed about myself is we've been doing a lot of these, but whenever I want to get really pointed, I try to get close to the camera, which makes absolutely no sense. I'm like, hey, how are you? I'm closer. I think it's the need of being around people. I want to get close, Nathan. I want to get closer.
Hey, do you know where we're getting close today? We're getting close to out west, and we're getting close to one of the most beautiful parts of the world.
We're going back out west today, eh?
We are, and we're going to a beautiful place called Whistler. Have you ever been to Whistler, George?
I have actually. I'm going to disappoint a lot of viewers here right now. I've never been out west, period. It is time to get me out west. Whoever's listening, once we are able to fly, I would love an invitation, a flight, first class preferably, out west. You know, I'll even get you on the show if you buy me the ticket. And I know a guy that can book you on here. So,
No, I tell you what.
I would love to go out west, and I would love to go to see our next clinic, our next guest's clinic. My God, I can't speak today. This is going to be an interesting interview.
And the best thing about this next guest is she's about to open a new clinic.
Oh.
And it's in the heart of Whistler, in the actual village. And I was lucky enough to go out there just before isolation started to have dinner with her. And she's a wonderful person, running pretty much a family business. Her and her husband run the clinic. And they're doing some amazing stuff out there. And I'm really excited to get to know her. So should we bring her out?
Yeah, let's do it. So without waiting any longer, please welcome to the show, Dr. Sarah Kennea. I hope I said that right.
Yes, you did. Yes,
you got it right. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. You know, we're like birds in a cage, but we're doing good. I'm sure you have a lot more freedom out there. A little bit more, at least, I should say.
Yes, we do actually, because there's a lot of space. You can socially isolate in lots of different places, and you won't see anyone. Like, we just went hiking. Didn't see bears, but that's probably because I had the dogs with me. But yeah, so we're enjoying the great outdoors.
When I try to do city hiking, it results in me doing like a zigzag down the street to avoid people. I've got this fear, but I do smile. I smile at everyone. I'm like, hi, I don't mean to avoid you, but social distancing, cross the street. Hi, cross the street, you know? So I'm trying to...
Is that really a thing?
It really...
Just hold that up, George.
No, I'm serious. I do. I do. I avoid people like the Black Plague. It's horrible. And I have such a need. I'm a hugger.
God, I know this is hard for people who are used to being very close to people. We've got a new thing in the clinic with my medical patients have been in a little bit. And we like virtual hug in the app.
Yeah, I would love to give someone a hug right now. I'd love to. My dog's first. My dog was like the luckiest dog in the world. She's like, I don't know what's going on. Did you get fired? Why are you home all the time? And now she's like, okay, stop.
So, that's awesome. But I can't believe you've not been out west. That's insane.
Well, you know what? I put the offer on the table. You know what needs to happen?
Yes. We have like a whole rental suite that normally has visiting people, but there's no one visiting right now, so you can come anytime.
I would love that. I would actually love to come and visit your new clinic. Has it opened yet?
Well, yes. I mean, I'm only doing medically essential things at the moment, but it is open. But it's been good doing the transition when there's been no one around, so we can kind of work out where to put everything and which windows needed a bit of frosting. So we're trying to preserve as much view as possible because the views are stunning. Like
wow.
There's everywhere, and in winter time, all the trees are covered in snow, and you feel like you're in this winter wonderland. But at the moment, it's just breathtaking with all the sunshine. Gorgeous.
So if I head over to WhistlerMedicalAesthetics.com, will I be able to see photos of the new place?
Yes, you can.
Good.
Yourself when you come to visit.
You like how I plugged that website in there, right?
Yeah. You're a professional. You should do that.
I've been doing this for a while now, a total of 3 weeks. So, I'm pretty good.
You're good. Really good.
Should we get right into the interview? We want to get to know you.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Perfect. Let's go right back to the day you were born.
Oh, okay.
Your parents decided to name you when you entered in this world. What was your full name at birth? And is there any meaning behind your name? Were you named after someone like a grandparent or a celebrity?
Sarah Louise Cunningham was my name at birth. And I think the Sarah was just like biblical. I don't know. I think my mother's a big Catholic, so it was a good name, I think. And also because they didn't know any irritating kids called Sarah, whereas a lot of the other names they had to like, no, we can't do that. No, that will remind me of crazy Jason or whatever, you know? So yes, I gather there was lots that they couldn't pick as teachers.
Were you irritating?
No, I think I was the middle child who just put up with stuff, but then subsequently became more attention-seeking in later life. But then I ended up, doing TV acting as a kid and things like that because I was like, I need more attention.
I love that.
So I write letters to casting directors going, I really think you should cast me in a part because I want to be on TV.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I would love to read one of those letters if you find one ever.
I know. Yeah, I don't think that's so bizarre. Or occasionally they'd send them back going, yeah, whatever, you're on file or something like that. And they'd just mail them back to me with the pictures. You wouldn't do that to kids nowadays, would you? But they did.
Funny. Were you born in Canada?
No, Liverpool, England, like where the Beatles are from.
Nice.
We came to Canada 6 years ago now, and we've been in Whistler for 4 years.
So you're new here, 6 years.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Although my 8-year-old still has a British accent, which I can't quite work out.
So you have, how many children do you have of your own?
I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and my 5-year-old is just feral, growing up in the woods of Whistler. They do daycare on a bike or on skis, so they just like these. He has quads of steel. It's insane.
I love it.
So tell us a little bit about growing up in Liverpool and your school years.
So I went to just a normal average school in Liverpool. So, you know, you have to be a little streetwise to grow up in Liverpool, I would say. It would be fair. So yeah, I could pretend to be hardcore, which was subsequently something that became useful when I was in the military and when I worked with the police. Good at putting on a front of being quite streetwise, even though I don't think I was very streetwise, but I could pretend quite well.
I can't wait to dig a bit more into that, but we'll do that in the professional section. But growing up, was being a doctor always the thing you wanted to be?
No, it wasn't until really late. My grandmother had Alzheimer's disease, and I spent a lot of time looking after her. And it was like when she was in the final stages of that, I was like, oh, I think medicine really, it had a calling to me. And so then I'd done all the wrong exams. So then I needed to pick up all these other subjects that I hadn't done and have some crazy rush to the finish, you know. But it was worth it. It was good.
So you were clever at school, like you picked things up pretty quickly.
No, I was a late blossomer. That's what I was.
I like that.
Yeah.
I might tell my parents that. Oh, Mum and Dad, I was a late blossomer.
Yeah. I don't really know what I'm focusing on. Oh, I'm focused. No, I'm super focused.
Cool. So growing up in Liverpool, did you have any heroes? Were you an Everton or a Liverpool fan?
Oh, Liverpool, definitely. Okay. Yes. But when I was growing up, Liverpool were like the top, but then they weren't for a while, and now they are again. So Liverpool doing well right now.
Well, they were until Corona hit.
Yes, I know. Like soccer is like religion in Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's intense. Yes. Heroes. I think actresses. I really wanted to be an actress when I was a kid. So it was mainly Shakespearean actors and actresses and things like that.
Cool. And so if you were an actor, who would be the one actor you would like to be? If you could be an actor today, who would it be?
Oh, I didn't prepare for this one.
I know. I threw you a spanner there, but I'm just personally interested.
Oh, who are all the Harry Potter ones? I get to watch Harry Potter with Henry at the moment, and the skill of the actors, they're all these super incredible Shakespearean actors, but acting Harry Potter. It's like phenomenal. Oh, Angelina Jolie. I do like Angelina Jolie as well because she's pretty stunning and talented. But yeah, no, I can't beat the good old Brits. I love it when the Brits kick butt in Hollywood.
Yeah, it is good.
Just Elba started playing Americans and things. I'm like, yes, good on you. I love it, Chris.
I love it.
He's so awesome.
I love it. And lastly, before I hand it back over to George, do you have a funny story from growing up as a child or through your teenage years or maybe even university?
Funny story. I don't know that I read the questions well enough. Do I have a funny story? Husbands. Sorry, I'm asking for inspiration now. Dog. I'm not very funny. I don't think I'm actually very.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I did when I was when I was a kid. My mum made me learn lots of instruments, and so I used to. She didn't know, but I would go and pretend to practice my violin, and I'd record myself on the tape recorder, and then kind of just play it back for a few days. I thought she knew that and then eventually when I was like 30 or something, we were having dinner one night with with husband and blah 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 blah, and I was like, oh, so you do know that I used to record my violin practice, ha ha ha, isn't this a good joke? And she was like, not happy. Full feature comes out. She's like, she was still affronted by the fact that she was not finding this amusing even like 20 years ago. She was not seeing the funny side.
That's amazing.
I love it.
Amazing. Do you still play music today?
No, it's one of those. I'm like, I'm either doing it or I'm not doing it. Now I'm doing aesthetics. I'm like, I'm fully focused.
It's a whole different instrument.
Whole different thing. But I have to sometimes do the piano practicing thing, so who knows now. I sometimes have to do the right hand and he does the left hand, so it may all be coming back.
I love that. Tell me about prom. Is prom in Liverpool the same way it's here in the Western world?
No, they just go, okay, you're leaving now, bye.
And no final hurrah. No major dress, no asking.
No, nothing. My husband's going, you might get robbed on the way out. Yes. No ceremony at all.
Welcome to Liverpool.
So with your husband there, I'm going to ask the serious question. Was your husband your first love? Hey,
I'll leave.
My golden retriever was my first love, I think.
Oh crap! Really?
Never beat that first dog love. It's true.
Never.
And there a woman speaks the truth.
Tell me about your first kiss with your husband. Where did it happen? Do you remember it like it was yesterday? Yeah. Were you good or was he better?
We were in the Grand Hotel in Jersey. And he was in the police and I was the new police doctor, and we really should have known better, and we were shamelessly snogging in the bar.
I think the bar get a room or something.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember that vividly. In fact. Yeah.
So who is better?
Apparently.
Who is better?
Are people better at kissing? I kind of feel it's a shared, and I don't know. I think it was equal.
Oh, very.
He's not going to sing his own praises here, he says.
What a champ. I love it when the spouse shows up in the interview. So now that he's left the room, tell me the last lie you told your husband.
Oh.
He's still there.
He's still there.
All right, I won't put you on the spot. Tell me the last lie you told your children.
Take a they're all like COVID lies. Like, no, I didn't take the kids to play with someone else.
Oh my God. Oh.
Okay, last question before I hand you off to Nathan. Do you sing in the shower?
Yes, I do actually. I do like singing in the shower.
What was the last song you sang in the shower?
Oh crap. Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's bad. I don't know.
What's a good shower singing song?
I can't think of anything. I have a terrible memory for songs.
Just hum it for us. We'll sing a couple
I don't know. I'm trying to think now. I think it's whatever's on the radio at the time. And then I usually don't know the words, so I'm just kind of singing along. The words are a little bit wrong, and but I'm still enjoying myself. When I was a kid, I had time to learn. Like I remember learning all the words to Eminem stuff, and then being able to really kind of jam it because you knew all the words. And now I find learning, I don't have a lot of time to learn the words to songs. But I was wanting the kids to do that. Actually, I was like, how cool would it be if we all learned all the words and a dance routine and could kind of do it? It would be very cool. But they're boys, they didn't seem that into it.
And every Christmas, just bust it out.
Yeah.
New routine, new choreography. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk dinner now. Let's talk cooking. Who's the big chef in your house?
Paul's definitely the chef in the house.
Okay.
Like, people joke that I can't even boil an egg. It's probably true. I would do. Actually, in fact, every time I boil an egg, I have to Google, how long do we boil an egg for again?
Oh, and what's his signature dish? So if people were coming over, what would he be cooking up?
Oh, it'll be something far too spicy for someone that we don't know. It'll be like he'll make some Thai curry and he'll put all this chili in it. And then afterwards, as we're sitting down to it, he'll go, oh, are you okay with spice? French au pairs. We had a series of French au pairs, and I don't know if you know anything about France, but they don't eat spicy food. They do not like spicy food. They don't like Indian food. They just don't. And he'd make all these curries, and I only put a little bit of chili in. And I remember one au pair literally like almost asphyxiating at the table. Her face is like right there.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, you can't make spicy stuff. You haven't checked if you like spice or not. Just like, only a little bit. Yeah, so he's bad for that.
That's so good. Now, so speaking of dinner, if you and your husband were able to invite 3 people, dead or alive, whoever you wanted, around for dinner, who would they be and why?
I would have to invite Will and Kate. Or then if we're allowed to add an extra, then Meghan and Harry. Can you imagine? Gossip about Hannah.
I'll let you invite the Queen if you invite Nathan and I too.
Oh yes, I know. Sorry. I have lots of respect for the Queen as a good British citizen as well as a Canadian citizen, but I don't think she'd be that interesting for conversation. But I reckon Rose and Harry would be pretty cool. But it's sad that they've broken up or something. They're not friends anymore. That feels very sad. They're not getting on.
Yeah.
That might just be the Inquirer that I see at Walmart. It might not actually be.
So you're probably going to put us all to shame because you live in Whistler with this questions, and you probably do amazing things in the mountains. But what do you do in your spare time to wind down when you're away from your practice?
Yeah.
Maybe you have a bit of time away from the kids. What does Dr. Sarah Kennea do to wind down, relax, or take away your stress?
I do love skiing. I don't do enough of it, and by Whistler standards, I'm a poor skier by any stretch of the imagination. But I do love skiing on my own. I like doing dates with my husband skiing and love taking the kids skiing. That's my excuse that I don't have to do anything too difficult. Except next year, probably Jack is going to be a better skier. My 5-year-old will be better at skiing than I am, which is quite sad. He can do. I have this thing where I'm like, I don't ski anything that has an entrance. Like an entrance, no. The all these shoots and things where you have to go, oh, just go down, you make the first turn, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not my thing. But he's going to be doing entrances next year, so we have to rethink that. But it's nice, Whistler, you go up the mountain and you drink bubbles and ski down a little tipsy. Apparently you're not meant to get better at skiing when you've been drinking, but I do.
It's that a little bit of alcohol courage, eh?
I'm actually quite good at the skiing, like.
Yeah. That's exactly like me with dancing and singing. I don't dance or sing sober. But when I've had a couple of beers, I'm just going for it.
Yeah. Oh dear. And yeah, I like cross-country skiing, but I don't do enough of it. I should do more, because you can just zip out in the evening and cross-country ski for 2 hours because it's all floodlit here and everything. So I should totally do that more often. But I do love it when we've been cross-country skiing. It's pretty special. And then, yeah, mainly hiking and things and biking, but not hardcore biking. Like, I can't risk my wrists. There's some pretty hardcore bikers in Whistler. Like, your average mother has usually done kind of a few triathlons and does rock rolls just before breakfast and things like that. So there's some crazy people here.
Wow. You know what, George, if Skinterviews starts picking up, we might be moving to Whistler.
Yeah, we can both come down, live downstairs.
It sounds amazing there.
By how fit everyone sounds in Whistler with all this stuff they're doing, they're going to think I'm a bear. That's all I gotta say. If I come down that mountain, it's gonna be a big snowball. Just
We'll get you fit. We'll get you on a program, George. Don't worry about it.
So what does Dr. Sarah Kennea do? A work morning. The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning
is usually the kids going, Mom, can I use the iPad? Can I watch TV? That's usually okay. First thing then, try and get the kids to stop fighting. Let the dogs out. I have 3 dogs now, so they take a bit of effort. I have 2 Aussie Shepherd Collie mixes in crates there and a aging Springer Spaniel under here. So usually they need some attention. And then, was this first thing in the morning or at work?
No, first thing in the morning.
In the morning, okay. And then I usually try and work out what the hell I can do with my hair in the time available. Sometimes I turn it to work and be like, wow, your hair looks really good. What did you do? And I'm like, I washed it. This morning.
Running water.
Conditioner. Otherwise, it's the military-esque, the bun. Just scoop it all back. Looks very surgical.
So let's talk a little bit about your professional career, because I was lucky enough to have dinner with you just before all this started. So I got to know you a little bit better before this interview, which I'm kind of glad, because I want to bring this out. Tell us what led you to medical aesthetics and all the other physician roles you had before, because you were doing some crazy jobs that I think the viewers would love to hear about.
The medical aesthetics and the crazy job is kind of separate. So the medical aesthetics, I like to think I was not gifted in the genetic lottery with fat genetics. So I was always battling against my rubber tire. And then the first paycheck I had, I'm like, I'm having lipo. And I was like, check me out. Now my self-confidence was like, okay, I can take on the world now. So I always believe that if there's something about you that bugs you, that it's very reasonable to get a little bit of assistance, I think. I know it can change how you feel emotionally inside and self-confidence and all that kind of, and then the things you kind of do with your life because you feel you've got more confidence. And I know we should all love ourselves the way that we are, but get real, life isn't like that. So that's the second.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
And then all the other crazy jobs. So I think I always had this yen to kind of have the drama in life. Maybe the drama that I wanted to be an actress, but actually there is more drama in medicine than in real life. Actually, I feel medicine's dramatic. So, yeah, at university, I remember doing career stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, pathology, well, or cardiology, whatever. Psychiatry is quite fun, but and then there was like military medicine. I was like, well, that sounds much more like my cup of tea. So, and I was in the reserves in university in the officer training course, so I kind of got the bug for the military stuff. And so I joined the military when I was at university, and then I did 5 years after that, I think. So then you did a lot of your training there, but we did a lot of full-blown military training, like 6 months of military medicine and learning to do infantry stuff and live in the middle of nowhere and all that kind of stuff, and doing resuscitation in NBC suits and things. So that was pretty cool.
Oh.
And then I was jumping out of airplanes and things. And then after I left the military, I'd always loved forensics, was the other thing that I'd really loved at university as well. So then I trained to be a forensic medical examiner, and I worked in the northeast of England, and I worked in Jersey and the Channel Islands. And so that was kind of attending sudden deaths, doing kind of initial forensics at sudden deaths, including suspicious ones, and sexual assault examination, and treating people in police custody like drug addicts and things like that. So there was never a dull moment. Oh yeah, and if people were psychiatrically unwell but they were violent, they get taken to police custody, and you had to detain them under the Mental Health Act and stuff like that. So yeah, lots and lots of drama. More drama than most people will see in their entire life, in fact.
Wow.
Stuff.
So where did the change happen? Where did you go from, examining, homicides to, I want to inject Botox?
Well, both require a high level of attention to detail. So
absolutely,
it's a good training. And then I'd always have the. I was telling Nathan, I always obsessed with face creams. I swear, when I was 12, I would go and buy Clarins at the time. I hate to name brand, but Clarins was like up there for me. This was the pinnacle of very expensive face creams. I'd be like, oh, I can save up for the face oil next. So I was a little obsessed with lotions and potions and creams and things. I think just looking for a change with when you have kids, getting up at 3 a.m. to do forensics is great until you have kids that don't sleep at all ever and wake up every 2 hours. And then you're like, oh, getting up at 3 when you've already been up at 11 and 1 and then come back and you're back up at 4:30 is not as much fun. So, we just look for a career change, really. And then I started training in aesthetics, and then that got more and more popular. So
amazing.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you feel that, now that you've done such a wide array of things, right? And in any position, I would ask you, in the military is 1, in the police department is 2, and in your aesthetics practice is your 3rd one. Tell me one thing about each one of those professions that you feel the public does not know about.
Oh, I would say for the military, I'd say how incredible soldiers are. Like, we all depend on our military, and they have a hard time, and these poor kids. I remember seeing these poor 18-year-olds, and they're just sent out places, and it's a very high level of training for them, and very often they come from sometimes there's not always the best backgrounds and things, so they don't have a lot of emotional support, and they get sent to some pretty intense environments. So I think hopefully they continue to get the support that they need when they come home, because that's something I have been training in learning about recently, is just the whole PTSD and what goes on with that, and how to help people with PTSD is really interesting area, and there are some huge advances coming out with that. Amazing. Paul, my husband, was in the military and the police, and he had PTSD, so a part of it was me learning about it to kind of be able to help him with things, which it has. So I just think we should be very proud of our armed forces, and I love that about the states, that they all kind of have their bumper stickers on, support our troops. And it's good. I like that. And police, probably similar. Like, I know some people aren't the biggest fans of the police. The police have a really hard time. They have a lot to deal with on the front line. probably more than anybody realizes. So, yeah, similar. It's a tough job, and they see pretty terrible things as well. So, long hours and stuff. So, yes, I think just due respect for the people that I used to work with. They do a good job. They do.
And then in aesthetics?
I think in aesthetics, I think just that it's actually, there are lots of very normal people that like to look after their skin and like to be preventative and proactive and put their best face forward for things. And that I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think it gets a bad rap from a lot of unnatural outcomes and people being overdone and that kind of thing. And I hope that if people saw my patients, that they wouldn't actually know that they've done anything at all. Because that's the ethos of things.
That reminds me of a story when I was actually having dinner with you out in Whistler. The lady that was serving us, she came up to me and she goes, "Oh, is Dr. Sarah Kennea having dinner with you tonight?" And I said, "Yes, she is." And she said, "Can you convince her to do my lips? I really want more filler in my lips." And obviously she had already had enough filler, and Sarah obviously refused to put more in because she didn't need it. And she was very young, like she would have only been in her young 20s. Yeah. And that's exactly what you're talking about, right? People trying to overdo it.
Yeah. And there's a psychological side to that. You know, sometimes I have to sit people down and go, you know, Michael Jackson, you know what happened to him? Like he just got high on the idea of changing himself. Like it was a complete psychological disorder. And sometimes people get that and sometimes they don't. But it's sad. And the lips particularly seem to be a thing with that. I think it's this whole selfie phenomenon of people taking selfies with their distorted, the big wide angle on the lips type thing. Everyone thinks everyone's getting these huge lips. And, you know, huge lips disproportionately to everything else is not a good look.
Exactly. Being newer in our industry, tell me somebody you look up to and why.
I do love Dr. Pimple Popper. She's awesome. I was watching your interview with her. She was the best. She's like an A-list celebrity. She's awesome. Inspirational. And then I would say probably, I don't know if anyone, but Dr. Chris Brink is someone I did a lot of training with, and he is phenomenal. Not only a truly ethical doctor and a gentleman, but a phenomenal injector. He really is.
You see me looking for a pen. Forgive me. I want to write names down. Chris Brink?
Brink, he's awesome. And his wife, Colleen, is like the best consultant in the industry. Sorry, Lindsay. Sorry, that's Lindsay, you are the second best. Colleen is the best in the industry.
I love that.
And they've been so helpful and inspirational to me and so supportive. And we have a nice little group of doctors and we all support each other and help each other out. Because I think in an industry where there's competition, I don't know that some places where there are a lot of clinics in a small place, that it's not quite as collegial maybe. But we have a really tight-knit team of people in different areas of BC, and we all support each other and give each other advice on best practice and stuff. So that's been really good. And Dr. Brink's definitely been a key for me in that area.
You know what? We love that. And that's one of the reasons why George and I decided to do Skinterviews, because we believe that more than ever now, this is the time that we should be collaborating. We should be sharing best practice because we're about to come out of something that we've never come out of before. And I think the more advice everyone can give everyone, the better we're going to be and the stronger our industry is going to be. And you know what? The safer our industry is going to be, which I think is really, really important, because we don't have to be just safe for our patients. We also need to be safe for our staff and ourselves as well.
Yeah, so that's absolutely what we've been collaborating on with this group of doctors I was telling you about all those things. How do we move forward in life? Because, you know, life has to go on. People do need treatment and they need assistance with skin issues and stuff like that. But how do we do that with looking after both our patients and our staff?
Yeah, and that leads me nicely to my next question, actually, because just when we first met, it was about a week before all this happened, right? We were sitting pretty in Whistler having dinner at that wonderful restaurant we went to, and we were talking about your clinic opening, all these exciting things. I was going to fly back for your grand opening and all this sort of stuff. And life was amazing and everything was wonderful. And then this virus hit us, and it hit us very, very hard. So I would love to know, firstly, how you've dealt with that personally, and secondly, how you and your husband are dealing with it on a professional level, and how you're getting the clinic ready to come back after this.
Yeah. I think we've been lucky in that we've had the clinic, opening the new clinic to focus on. So even though obviously we weren't doing business as usual at all, I've not only been busy, I'm trying to help out with a lot of our patients with medical issues so that they didn't have to go to, because there's only one healthcare center in Whistler. So it's been nice for some of my patients to be able to come and get healthcare that was urgent in a place where they knew no one was going to be sick. So I've been kind of busy with that. So yeah, my homeschooling hasn't been as diligent as maybe I'm giving the impression of. And also focusing on the clinic move, which is huge, and moving from a compact space to a pretty spacious area. It takes a lot of changes just in terms of equipment and things. So we've been busy. We've had time to do it, which has been nice. And in terms of moving forward, I think there's just going to become a new normal that's going to be here for probably a long time. And I think staff are going to be wearing masks. And I think we're going to be spacing out patients. And I think, we have made a protocol on that we're going to ring patients in the morning and just go through a COVID screening questionnaire that they don't have any symptoms before they come in. And I think, very diligent hand washing, cleaning door handles. And obviously we'll listen to the guidance that we're being given by the college and by Dr. Bonnie Henry here in BC. I'm sure there's other people in Canada who are dealing with that in other provinces. And just try and work sensibly. I mean, I think in healthcare, we're used to dealing with infection precautions. So I don't think it's completely alien to us to be working in PPE, for example. So I think we can work safely. And I personally think, we have to move forward and we all have to get this and get some immunity at some point. So we're going to have to move forward, and hopefully people get it in a safe way where we've got time and hospital space to treat people. And on the whole, I mean, BC's been pretty lucky because I think getting back to I think we're a pretty healthy bunch on the whole. There's not particularly high rates of smoking or obesity or anything like that. So we've definitely been lucky in BC so far. I think a new normal is going to be a new normal.
Amazing. If I were to ask you a very generalized question in the sense of, what do you think is holding the world back today? Like, I think a lot of people are examining life right now in many different ways, and we're looking at what's happening on a global scale. But if we could change something coming out of this, what do you think holds the world back today?
I think there is maybe too much of everybody in their own little bubble and doing their own thing. And I think in Canada, we're lucky we do have a good sense of community in general, much more so than the rest of the world. So maybe it would be maybe the rest of the world should learn a bit more from Canada about, I've seen really great examples of people being really diligent, obeying the rules, looking after their neighbors, making sure that they could stay at home. I think there's not every country in the world that people are as respectful for each other, and just kindness and consideration for others.
Love it. Love it. All right, let's get to our quick fire questions.
Okay.
Rapid fire, quick fire, whatever you want to call them. Some of them are this or that, yes or no, yes. Or one word answers. I don't want you to put too much thought into it. Just whatever comes to mind.
Like that psychological testing where you show me the pictures and I have to work out what I see in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Red or blue?
Red.
Black or white?
Black.
Black or red?
Red.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yeah.
Mom or dad?
Mom.
Favorite drink?
Oh no, sorry, Dad. Oh no.
The reaction time was great.
Just Dad, you are the best.
Or second best like Lindsay. But hey.
Lindsay, you are the best as well.
Favorite drink?
Bubbles.
There we go. Tequila or vodka if you have to do a shot?
Tequila.
Stuck in isolation for 12 more weeks. You can only bring one kid of the two. Which one?
George.
It has to be Henry.
Stuck in isolation for 12 more weeks.
One parent would ask that question. Seriously. Choose between your children.
Stuck in isolation for 12 more weeks. One skincare product.
Vivier vitamin C serum.
Oh, yay!
Burgers or pasta?
Burgers.
Burgers or French fries?
French fries.
French fries or steak?
French fries.
I like you. I like you. Coffee or tea?
Tea. I'm a Brit.
Nathan or me?
Oh, you can't ask me to see. I would choose between my children, but I wouldn't choose between you two.
We'll take that. We love you. That's great. That's great. Accept
We're both
it.
coming to BC.
Both coming.
Yeah.
Okay, just to let you know.
Cool. So I'm gonna ask you two last questions before we go. But before that, I just want to say a huge thank you. It was so good to have you on the show. I'm so glad we got to catch up with you. And I'm so gutted I'm not going to be at your clinic opening, but
maybe safe. We can get you some kind of like respirator thing, like a space bubble kind of, we got a doggy in here. Like a spaceman suit, and you can just come and be completely contained and not bring any of your, viruses with you.
No, but you know what? George and I are going to get out there to see the space at some stage.
Yes.
And
we should do maybe skiing. Maybe it'll be ski season.
100%. And take care, look after yourselves, and good luck for the 19th, because you guys are.
So I need to check, but I think we're good. We've got all
the 19th or 20th or whatever you're coming out of this. Good luck, and we wish you all the best with that. And it was so good to catch up with you. But the last two questions, the two most important questions of the night. Well, yeah, kind of. The first one is your current skincare routine.
Yes. Well, so the cleanser, I do like the S Clinical Cleansing Complex, but I also like the Zeo normal to dry cleanser as well. So sometimes I vary those up a little bit. Sorry, I haven't had as much time to use my Vivier yet. And then in the morning I would use the vitamin C serum from Vivier.
Yeah.
And then I have been using the Zoe Daily Power Defense, and then T-Zoe with a bit of a tint SPF mineral. Awesome. This is a little random. And then in the evening, I do love the active serum from S Clinical as well. And I've just been using the Immerse Overnight Recovery from Zoe.
Awesome.
I need more Vivier in my skincare regime, clearly. I love it.
Great product. No.
You are on great products.
You're on great products.
Thank you.
They're all very good.
Reds now. I need some redsy stuff or some BBL or something.
We can maybe help you out with that. Now that we know a couple of guys that know a little bit about skincare.
You do. I have to say, your skin is stunning, both of you. I was going to say when we came on, I'm with these seriously handsome dudes.
Oh, thank you.
I need to do my Botox. Look at that.
Oh my goodness, look. I've been keeping my patients company with this terrible. Like, normally people don't know that I'm mad. It's not.
I got to stop doing Skinterviews. I'm laughing so much I'm getting crow's feet.
I know. My 5-year-old said, "Mummy, is that your brains?"
Was that Henry?
That was Jack.
Oh, that's why you chose Henry.
Said, like, no, you don't normally see my wrinkles because I normally take care of them.
Oh, I love it. So the last question, Sarah, before we let George wrap things up.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see next on the show? And can you help us get them on the show?
Oh, I would like you to speak. Oh, you should have Chris Brink and Carleen, because that'll be hilarious, because Carleen's just wild. You would love to have a drink with Carleen. She's brilliant.
Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
I can get you on.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you can send an email copying us in with that'd be...
Oh, it's like when you tag people to kind of jump in the water in January, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
pretty much. We put people in the deep end on Skinterviews so they can't get out of it.
No, it's great. No, you would love it. And
Okay.
they are phenomenal clinic. They're really awesome. Out in Kamloops, BC. Yeah.
I want to say, you started out this interview by telling us that you're not very funny, and I've laughed through the whole thing. I think you are hilarious, and you've got great personality, and I wish we actually had more time, because I would really love to get to know some more stories about you, especially with your background in the military and in the police force. And I think that's going to happen when we finally sit down to have a couple drinks in person.
Yes. And or snowboard, and definitely lots of drinking.
And I remember the French fries from the interview. That's it. So I want to say a massive thank you. And I implore everybody that's watching the show, head over to whistlermedicalasthetics.com and check out the new clinic. I'll do that myself, actually, the minute right when we're done this interview. And follow Dr. Sarah Kennea on Instagram. It is Dr. Sarah Kennea. You see it over there in the corner of the screen. Make sure you get on there. Part of this is to build each other's networks. So it's important that we follow each other. Follow us. We'll follow you back too when we can. Of course, you can find us on Instagram at skin.terviews, facebook.com at skin.terviews, and of course on our professional page on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Make sure to support all our guests and follow them on their social media. And by reposting and sharing all our initiatives, we only better our industry and we lift each other up. Someone in one of our interviews talked about raising the tide. And when we do that, we all come up. And that is so important and so key. In the meantime, make sure to follow us to catch our full episodes, and give love to everyone that's been on the show, and take care of your families and stay healthy and safe. We are getting to the end of this, and we will come out of this better people, better world. Thank you for watching Skinterviews. Let us know who you want to see on next, and we'll talk soon.